Writing on writer's block. Haven't slept in days, they wanna put me in a psycho watch.
Welcome back to Writer's Block. This is the series where I talk about writing my first book. Today I'm talking about momentum. So I've started writing a scene in the book. It's the first real scene, and it began with internal monologue. And so I got into a scene. It's cool. I've never really written anything like that. I've never really written fiction. So writing a scene for me is kind of foreign, and that's why I'm excited to do the book. But I've been writing this scene for the past maybe week, and keep in mind I have no idea where the book's going. I don't know how the book's going to end. The book is literally writing itself day by day. And all I do is just honor my responsibility to sit down and put pen to paper and write a little bit every day. And outside of that, I try to not put much thought into the book, ironically. I feel like thought is the only thing that can cripple my writing. And I'm not writing a masterpiece. Maybe in some respects it can become a masterpiece, I don't know. Never should that be the intention though, honestly. And especially with writing and art in general, it's this thing that must be pursued for yourself to be enjoyed by others. But nonetheless, I'm talking about momentum. I started writing this scene, and each day the scene has sort of taken form. And I didn't know how it would end, but every day I kind of think, how am I going to continue this scene? I usually write towards the evening, and I think, how is this scene going to develop? It's a subtle thought in the back of my mind all day. And I do a pretty good job of feeding my mind healthy inputs and good inputs and creative inputs. So I'm either listening to music, which I'll talk about in a second, reading a book, or listening to a podcast of some kind of artist. I'm just either removing inputs or utilizing good inputs to feed the story. And today I was listening to a song by Biba Doobie, just randomly, because she had an interview on Rick Rubin's podcast, which is absolutely a gold mine if you're doing anything creative and want to learn from some people who are great creatives in their own right. And they were listening to her album in full, and one song came on, and it just filled me with a peculiar and particular potent energy that fueled an idea for the rest of this chapter. And I thought, what if my main character does this thing he really doesn't want to do? And I haven't really decided if how much of the book I'm gonna actually reveal in this channel, but let's just say it gave me the entirety, perhaps rest of the book, just this song. And that momentum shift from not knowing how the book was gonna go, sitting in uncertainty, to now having a pretty broad idea of how the rest of the novel will unfold. It's beautiful how that happens. And there's a momentum shift where if you just commit to the book, you commit to the story, it ends up writing itself, and momentum does pick up. Momentum's always slowest, I feel, or I've experienced momentum being quite slow at the beginning, but I'm sure it's going to slow down again. And I'll be sitting wondering how I should finish a certain scene, a certain chapter, etc. But I just want to add that there is always a moment, if you remain committed, there is always going to come a moment where that lightning will strike, and the thing you're trying to do will do itself. It just requires your presence. It requires, most importantly, your intention and commitment to it. Because although I can't really put it into words, there's something profound with putting energy into something. What is energy? I would say effort, most practically, in terms of writing a book, or starting a business, or making a video, becoming a better soccer player, whatever it is. It's the most practical way you can put energy into something is putting effort into something. So if you can commit to doing that, the book will give energy back to you in the form of ideas, in the form of just genuine fulfillment, and perhaps maybe one day in the form of recognition. But I got 4 new books from Barnes & Noble. Maybe I'll do a book haul in a separate video, but just mention that because I really am committed. I'm really committed to writing a book. It's something that's been incredibly fun. And I must say, this could be a separate video as well, but I have to say that doing something that you've always wanted to do but haven't done yet, it's pretty much the key, because it's not about the finished product, which I'm sure it's going to be cool when this book is done. I can't wait. I think it's going to be great. But just starting writing this and writing it every day has filled such a gap. But I think someone could easily start writing a book and only be thinking about the end. But I already walk a much lighter human being just because I am doing it now. And that might be what enjoying the process or enjoying the journey actually is. It might just be realizing that attempting the thing, trying the thing without stopping is getting what you want. Because I've already thought about how when I finish writing this book, well, then I got to write another book. It's not like that desire is going to go away. And no amount of subscribers on this channel, no amount of money in the bank account, and no amount of recognition is going to stop the desire, nor should it. The point of our existence is to create stuff, I think. What do I know? I don't know. But I do know that when I'm making something, all else dissolves into irrelevance, and I feel like I'm supposed to be here. If I'm not making something, I'm more so just trying to keep my head above water. And I've never really gone back. It began with the YouTube channel. Now it's kind of, the YouTube channel is just a autobiographical documentation of my creations, I should say. But even just writing the book has been a huge momentum shift in my life, and I feel an immense amount of purpose in doing it, regardless of if the book sells even 1 copy. It's just writing it for me is honestly enough. I can say that honestly. And sure, I look at these great writers and think, I would love for someone to be exposed to my writing as well, but that's just not. I realize how much it already means to me just to write. It's just, that's what it's about. I'm going to write forever. Never going to stop writing. So, thanks for watching. Hope this momentum talk was of some help to you. And if you're a writer, keep writing your book and keep enjoying your life. Bye-bye.